We're going to go through a very methodical study of the word. And you're going to see some things that are absolutely amazing. Many Christians believe that the fires of God, hellfire, is eternal. It is eternal. The fire that burns is eternal. And I'm going to say that that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Notice with me Matthew chapter 25 and verse 41. Jesus speaking here says, "Then shall he say unto them also on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." We clearly see here that the fire is everlasting. In Mark chapter 9, verse 43, the Bible says, "And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched." The fire that shall never be quenched. So again, we see here clearly that the fire is eternal. One more. Jude chapter 1, verse 7, "Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire." So here's what I want for you to understand first and foremost. That the word here, eternal, means that the fire is everlasting. And most Christians would agree with that. The fire is everlasting. Now, the fact that the word eternal is used, that the words forever is used when it comes to the fire, we must be willing to apply this principle consistently. Let's go back to the screen, and I want you to notice something. In Exodus chapter 31, verses 16 and 17, the Bible says, "Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed." Now, please understand that if we're going to say that hellfire is definitely eternal, because words like forever and everlasting and eternity or eternal are applied to hellfire, we must also equally apply it when it is used regarding the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between the children of Israel forever. Excellent, excellent. Are we good so far? Now, the question is asked, but for whom? But for whom? Let's go ahead and see in the commandment itself. In Exodus 20, verse 10, the Bible says, "But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it, thou," and the thou there is referring to the Jew, the Jewish person, the Israelite. "In it, thou shalt not do any work." Thou shall not do any work, meaning you are to keep the Sabbath. Israelite, you shall not do any work. That's how you keep the Sabbath, by not doing any work. This commandment extends to the Israelite's son forever, to the Israelite's daughter forever. And now notice this. It also extends to the Israelite's manservant, maidservant, even the animals. And now watch this. The stranger that is within thy gates. Now, what would the stranger within thy gate mean? Who would be the stranger within the gates of an Israelite? It would be a Gentile. Let me show you a little bit more about these gates. When the Bible says gates, notice with me in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 21, thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Again, Nehemiah 13, verse 19. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be darkened before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates be shut, and charged that they should not be opened until after the Sabbath. And some of my servants I set at the gates that no burden should be brought in it on the Sabbath day. So the gates here is not a reference to an Israelite's personal house. Yes, it could be read that way, but this command was for anyone living in Israel, Jew or Gentile. So then what we see so far is this. Eternal hell or eternal fire is eternal because the word eternal is used. We don't need to question, hey, is it eternal or is it not eternal? The fire is eternal. But according to the same logic, the Sabbath is also eternal. The word perpetual and forever is applied to the Sabbath. Now, remember, the Sabbath commandment, yes, it was given to the Jew, but it was also given to the Gentile. The stranger that would have been in the gates of Jerusalem was also to honor the Sabbath forever. I want you to note with me, Numbers chapter 15, verse 13, the Bible says, all that are born of the country shall do these things after the manner in an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. An ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you. An ordinance forever in your generations, as ye also so the strangers shall be before the Lord. One law for the stranger and for the Jew. Now, you say, but Pastor, again, that was the Old Testament. Let me read to you from Isaiah 56, verses 4 and 5, a chapter that is referring to the Gentiles coming into the blessings that were originally for the Jews. The Bible says, for thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things that please me and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a palace and a name better than of sons and of daughters. And I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also, the sons of the strangers. Now, who would the sons of the strangers be? The sons of the strangers would be Gentiles. The text says, also the sons of the strangers that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant. Watch. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be acceptable upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called a house of prayer for how many people? How many people? For the Jews? No, not for the Jews, but for all people. Therefore, in Isaiah chapter 56, we have here a direct prophecy stating that the Sabbath would also extend to the Gentiles. Thus, the Sabbath would also be forever, as the text states. Now,